Have you ever wanted to buy a $60 synthesizer and you have $60, but you feel like once you pay money for music production software, you're obligated to make better songs and you don't think you can do that? Me neither. I'm Big Max, aka Cabbage Boy, and here's how to make an indie synth for $0. I'm going to put down some notes, 4-chord loop, and put an arpeggio on there. We need an actual synth. Download this bad boy, extract it. You can go into options, preferences, plugins, and then your VST3 library, and just make sure that the DLL file is inside this VST3 folder. Rescan, and then it should show up in your plugins on the left side. I'm going to replace the piano with the synth. Here's all the knobs and buttons, and here's the default sound. There's a menu where you can go through presets. Here we're going to be making our own. The first section that we're going to look at is the oscillators. This synth has two different oscillators, and these knobs control the shape of each of the waves. So it starts at a sine wave and goes all the way up to a square wave. So here's wave 1 and here's wave 2. Over here in the mixer is the volume level for each of the two. So we'll start with just one wave and put on a sine wave. You can see as you change from a sine wave up to a square wave, it gets buzzier. For this indie synth, I want it to be pretty soft, so I will set this to a sine wave. If you want a little bit of buzzy top end, but you don't want the entire thing to be buzzy, you can have a lower volume on the second one and have that one be a square wave. I'll start with only sine, then I'll slowly turn up the second wave. This is the cutoff frequency. Here, I'll mess around with these knobs so you can hear it. I'll start with the highest filter and then go down. And then I'll turn up the resistance a little. These are ADSR envelope. They change the volume of the synth based on the amount of time that each of these is set to. So attack is the amount of time in between when the note is pressed and when it reaches its full volume. So you want a low attack if you're going for a slow building pad. A slightly faster attack is going to be more of a pluck. So for our sound, I want it to be closer to a pluck, so I'll turn up the attack a little bit. And then the release is how sharply it cuts off at the end. So if you have a long release, it'll be a smooth transition into no sound. If you have a sharp release or low, then it'll be a quick cutoff. Here's the synth right now with the oscillators, the mixer, the filter, and the envelope set. I want this to sound a little more gritty, so to saturate it, I'm going to put it through a guitar amp. Now I'll make a jumpy little bass line. I've just added a little bit of sub and the notes are lower. And to give this one a little more texture, I've added the plugin Camel Crusher. We're going to add a little bit of drums to tie this together. And then I found this cute little snare roll that will really give it a groove. It sounds weird now, but trust me. Really important for an indie song, we need to make lyrics that are vaguely about love. Time after time, you're on my mind.